This is a Headgum original.
In 1977, NASA sent 2 solid gold records into space so that aliens might find them and understand life on Earth.
I send greetings on behalf of the people of our planet and friendly wishes to all who may encounter this Voyager.
Now, we're making new records with our friends.
We step out of our solar system into the universe, seeking only peace and friendship. We know full well that our planet and all its inhabitants are but a small part of this immense universe that surrounds us.
Hello from the children of planet Earth.
Zippity-deep, well.
Zoobity woppy, yeah.
Zippity-beep-beep, way. Oh, Anya's eating fruit snacks. Anya's eating fruit snacks.
Anya's so crazy. Oh,
Casey's
sorry.
also eating fruit snacks. I thought Casey was just serving Anya fruit snacks.
Yabba dabba doo.
Okay, Fred. Hey, we got Freddie Flintstone on the pod today.
Whoa. That was me slipping on a banana peel. Whoa.
Does that happen to the Flintstones?
I don't know, but that's the energy I felt like I was bringing.
Listen, welcome back to Bedrock, where we're here. Welcome back to Bedrock with EJ and Shelby, where we talk Flintstones and nothing else.
We don't let it stray for even 1 minute.
Today's guest, Pebbles.
And Wanda?
I don't know
Who's
the
wife?
rest of their names, but they are coming on, and we're going to get to know them together. EJ, what is going on with you?
Oh my God. What is going on with me? I ate a tuna salad this morning.
So you're a tuna person.
Oh God. Oh my God. Are you not?
I don't eat fish or meat, but
I knew that.
brag, flex.
Yeah.
Brag, flex, plant-based.
Plant-based.
I'm the plant-based god.
That's what I always think that. I'm like Shelby plants. Like it's like synonymous in my mind.
But Lindsay, huge tuna freak. And one of my best friends, Gabby, shout out Gabby,
Also loves tuna.
obsessed with tuna. And then my neighbors got a Shiba Inu puppy, and they named it Tuna. And it's been sort of a thing.
Everybody's like talking tuna.
Everyone's talking tuna.
That's like classic stuff. Like, yeah, it's like.
Well, because Lindsay and Gabby Gabby specifically loves Shiba Inus. It's her favorite thing.
Oh.
And
I mean, they look
her
like stuffed
parents
animals.
have one. And so to have a Shiba Inu puppy named Tuna was like a really like
That's crazy.
Gabby encapsulated. And then, you know, when we walk past the dog, Lindsay's always like, Tuna, I love tuna.
Oh, tuna. Yeah.
So you had tuna salad today on the sandwich.
Actually, no.
Oh.
It was sort of like a deconstructed tuna salad sandwich.
So no
So it was
bread.
like a salad with tuna on it.
Okay, so not a
It wasn't
deconstructed sandwich, just a tuna salad.
Yeah, it was a tuna salad, Todd.
Was it tuna salad on top of a salad?
Yeah.
It's a tuna salad salad.
It was a tuna salad, Todd.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was really like filling and good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you make the tuna salad yourself?
No, I actually got it. I got it at a cafe, and that was a weird choice to be eating in public. Honestly, I feel like I don't know. No, I mean not to be eating generally in public. I eat in public all the time.
Is it the same as a tuna niçoise salad?
No. Oh my God,
Okay.
I wish.
No worries. I don't know
Tuna
the difference.
niçoise salad. I was introduced to in the last year.
Okay.
Have you? Well, you haven't had it because you don't eat tuna. But have you had because there's components of it that you would eat and enjoy.
I don't know what a tuna niçoise salad is.
Oh my God, it's amazing. It's like a it's sort of like, okay. Oh God. How do I explain this? I'm getting so sweaty. It's sort of like a charcuterie board idea in that there's a lot of splashing around. In that there's a lot of components and you can sort of pick and choose. So So there's like potatoes, like little potatoes. What are they? Fingerling?
In a tuna niçoise salad?
Yeah. Yeah, onions. Yeah, onions saying yes.
I'm understanding that I had no idea what this was.
It's not a salad, basically. I mean, it is in that there's vegetables and other stuff, but like I wouldn't think of it.
It sounds like a dish.
It's a dish. Okay. It's definitely a dish. It's like there's dressing, there's potatoes. Anya, help me out. What else is there?
Usually like green beans.
Green beans. Everything's slippery.
This is a buffet.
And like oil. Egg. There's like a.
Is this not just going to a buffet and putting stuff on your plate?
That's how it feels, and that's why I love it.
Okay.
You don't have to be.
It's French, Shelby.
Okay.
Okay.
Buffet?
Yeah.
Are buffets French in nature? Where does the word buffet come from?
Oh, I meant niçoise.
I understood that by the word niçoise, just on premise. But I'm just curious also. Buffet,
The word buffet.
The silent T tells me we didn't make that up. Someone had to give it to us.
Bouffe.
It's named after the piece of furniture where you like lay out food. It's like a sideboard.
Okay, and
Whoa.
that piece of furniture is French?
It's a buffet.
Yes, it's a buffet.
But the root of the word...
No, it's French. That's what I'm saying.
Yes! It's French all along. I knew it.
Thanks for tuning in.
Everyone doubted me, and nobody believed in me, and I was right all along. Buffet is French. Everyone wants to say buffets are for Americans because we're chubby, chubby, chubby. Wrong. Buffets are French, where they're skinny, skinny, hot. Which means that buffets can be for skinny, skinny, hot people, too.
Yeah. And yeah.
EJ, if you had to give a meal to an alien as the only meal that they were going to get right when they got down, like the first meal, what are you going to serve them?
Chicken fingers and fries.
Sick.
Right? You know? You're
Are
like,
you giving them sauce?
yeah, I mean, they can choose ketchup, mayo,
Are you
Chipotle
charging
mayo. Charging extra for sauce, only for ranch.
Okay. Whoa.
I want them to have a realistic experience.
I got in a fight about ranch the other day.
About what happened?
I learned that Hidden Valley invented ranch. And I brought that fact to someone else, having learned it, thinking that's unbelievable.
So someone looked you in the eye and said Hidden Valley invented ranch.
No, I learned that on my own research.
Okay. Okay.
And then ranch came up in another conversation, and I said, did you know Hidden Valley invented ranch? And they said they thought ranch was from like the 1700s. I said, you think that in the 1700s they made a dressing and called it ranch? No chance in hell. That is after we colonized America.
Right.
Food.
Ranch, yeah.
That's like the 50s. That's like the 60s. Mm-hmm. 50s, 60s. I don't know.
You think ranch
That's when
was
we were
invented
doing
in
a
the
lot with dairy.
1950s?
When we were like, wait, did you know we could put dairy in almost anything?
Oh my God, where they were like, drink a huge glass of milk every time you sit down.
Yeah, they were like, dairy is actually, that's where we begin.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Anya nodded her head as if what I had said was factual.
Hidden Valley invented ranch.
Thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just Googled it.
Yeah.
What'd you find?
The dressing, it's some guy developed it in Alaska at his ranch.
Oh.
And when guests would come, he would serve them this dressing, and people loved this stuff, so they made Hidden Valley Ranch.
Yes. So technically, they
So that
just
guy.
they made, but they were the first like commercialized ranch.
Yeah.
And I said that to someone, and they just really weren't believing in me. And I was like, why would I bring this up
Yeah.
if I didn't know it? Because frankly, I love ranch a lot, and I would never destroy its history. If it had a richer history, I would celebrate
You would
that.
honor that. I know that. Yeah. I know that's true of you.
Are you ranch head?
100%.
Ranch head?
I don't like ranch.
Are you blue cheese? Or neither?
Neither.
Okay.
No dairy-based
Okay.
sauces.
I don't like dairy-based sauces.
Are you lactose intolerant?
No, I just don't like dairy-based sauces. Really.
I think that is a trait that I am seeing more and more in people. I think people were
contagious.
hiding in plain sight about it. They were like, I don't want to admit it for a really long time, and people have started to be like, you know what? A creamy white liquid doesn't sit right with me.
Yeah, it's becoming definitely more normalized.
I love Chick-fil-A sauce.
I do like the Chick-fil-A sauce.
Now I need
straight
Chick-fil-A.
mayo. I don't like.
It's like a thick white thing.
Yeah.
Ew, stop
People
saying
don't love
thick
that.
white.
Hey, when you get those thick whites,
Those thick, rich,
thick white, that's
creamy
was
white.
my name in high
Yeah.
school.
Oh.
No, stop, everyone.
Seriously.
Literally, like, be real for a second. We have 2 guests coming on that I'm really excited about.
Well, I'm excited too.
Okay?
God.
Everyone's being like so
Everyone's like,
messed
you're
up
not
because
even
I was just like
excited.
excited to introduce our guests.
Yeah, I know. And I heard that they were like, stop introducing the, and you were like, I'm trying to introduce
Right.
again.
And
Yeah.
then you didn't even want me to start. Like,
No, and then I didn't. I wanted you to, but no one would let me talk about it either.
okay, well, our 2 guests are really, really talented, funny guys. Let's start there.
Okay, let's start there.
Let's
Thank you
gender
for saying
first.
that. Yeah, gender first, always.
You took a breath like you were gonna speak.
But then I got scared. My God. You know them from their podcast, Straightiolab.
Ever heard of it? Get listening if you're not already, okay? They're funny.
They're silly.
They're George Civeris and Sam Taggart. George, Sam.
Hello.
Oh my God. Are we recording?
Yeah,
On?
we are.
Yeah.
We did. We just. I don't know. Oh, I could ask for confirmation, but as far as I know, we're recording.
I think we're recording, yeah. Okay, we're
That
getting
is-
some thumbs up. Yeah.
That is so dangerous.
Right.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Who knows
I'm
what we're
trying.
gonna
I'm
say?
like zooming. I'm gonna make you guys full screen because I'm like you are. It's kind of a wide shot, and I need to know what exact facial expressions you're making at all times. Otherwise, I won't know how to react.
That's
I learned-
really smart,
I
yeah.
said this to EJ the other day. I learned that, you know how people have like resting bitch face?
Yeah.
That I don't have that at all. And what I have is resting sad face. Like when I'm not actively engaged, people
Yeah.
are always asking if I'm okay. So if I look sad, I guess I want to tell you I'm not.
Yeah, she might be
Yeah.
happy.
I might be happy, but I'm going to look sad. It really
Okay,
sucks.
so then we
I
won't
have-
put too much weight on how you're sort of looking. So we
Yeah.
won't put too much
Yeah.
weight on your.
Like if I'm
so-
sitting here like sobbing my eyes out, like that doesn't have to mean that I'm sad. It could mean like
Yeah.
so
Sure.
many things.
And like,
That could
don't
be
ask if she's
happy.
okay.
yeah,
Luckily,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
so far away that I can kind of barely see your features.
Perfect.
Good. That's actually what I asked for. It's in my rider. How are you both?
Sam, you can take it
Well,
away.
Well, we're doing incredibly well. Let me speak for George.
Yeah.
I never know how I'm feeling until Sam tells me.
Oh, that's super healthy, yeah.
Symbiotic.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, George is doing really, really good. He had, a
Congrats,
full
George.
day of work, but he's not feeling tired from it. He's actually feeling a sense of purpose and fulfillment, and even a joy to. He can't wait for this podcast to be over so he can go to bed and get up at 6 a.m. and work again because this boy
Exactly.
loves to work.
Oh my
And
God.
Sam had a pretty good day. He has like one more thing he wants to get done, and it's weighing on him a little bit. Like it's like an email that he knows he needs to get back to, but he's like he didn't make a note of it, so he in his mind is like, fuck, like don't forget, you can't like write it down right now because you're in the middle of this, but don't forget. And I have to say, like he was in a better mood approximately like 10 minutes ago, but it started raining, and the weather really affects his mood, and so he's kind of feeling like a little in shock because he hadn't looked at his weather app, so he wasn't expecting
Right.
that it was going to start raining.
Yeah.
And so he's still processing like, okay, where do we go from here?
George,
Sure.
the way that you're actually 100% right on that is actually jarring to me.
Well,
Wow.
And George, how right was he about you?
well, see, I think Sam took a more comedic approach to this, where he's like, he knows that I am tired after a day of work, and he in his kind of like if anything, to kind of gas me up as a form of wishful thinking, he is saying I'm not tired. So I think Sam, at his core, knows exactly how I feel, but he was more doing it.
He was
doing
he was taking some liberties. Yeah.
Yeah, performing, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to rewrite your narrative.
Yes, and it worked.
Yeah.
Incredible writing, though. I mean, it was really compelling. I was tuned in the whole time.
I could tell Shelby's
Well,
eyes
Sam's
were
one of the most
popping
in-demand
out.
writers in the industry.
Yeah, I'm sort of really in demand as a writer in the industry, which is amazing. Yeah, books,
That's
newsletters,
amazing.
scripts, like whatever, as long as it's words, you know
Everybody's
what I mean?
like, gimme.
That's going to be the new big thing in the industry, I think. Newsletters.
Books.
I agree. And people
huge.
think people think you mean email newsletters. No.
No.
Paper newsletters.
Yes.
We're going to be printing them out and we're going to be
Yes.
handing them out kind of in
And
a
you have to
grassroots
handwrite
way.
each one.
Yeah. Each one. No
Stapling
Xeroxing.
them up.
No
Yeah.
Xerox, no printing. It is putting pen to paper.
Oh my God,
is
I
a lost
can't.
art that we, I think, as an
Finally,
industry,
yes.
are getting
Yes.
back to.
Yes.
Thank you, Shelby.
Oh my
Yes.
God. No, the pen to paper as a reaction to the streaming wars, it's been so powerful. It's
yeah.
just it's
I
so
think something
nice to see
I'm
that.
trying to get the town crier back.
Yes.
But
Yes.
so few people want to work these days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if anyone would just accept, it's a really low benefits job, though, honestly, because there's just so
Right.
much travel.
But the exposure.
It's
And you get to
huge.
see like so many places. Like I sort of thought that was enough, but no.
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 People aren't
no.
interested in being the town crier anymore.
People are so
No.
greedy.
No, get your fucking ass up and be the town crier.
Literally.
Wake up.
Literally.
Put your little shoes on and go cry to
Get
the
the
town.
hat with the bells and just get out there. Like it's not a huge thing. Like people
Make your
it
own shit. Like
Right,
if you
yeah.
want to be
Like,
the town
make your
crier,
own
start
shit.
crying.
Yeah.
Oh my
right.
God.
Start crying. Like
Literally.
you can wake up and start crying. Like
Well, it's like no one's gonna cry for you. Like you know what I mean? Like if you want crying to happen, you need to go be the town crier. Like
Exactly.
and you are your biggest town crier. Like that's what I mean.
Wow.
Like,
Right. And like people want to complain about like robots taking jobs and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, if you're not going to be the town crier, I'm going to have to get an owl. And if I get an owl, I don't want to hear you complain that owls are taking people's jobs.
yeah.
it's quite simple, really.
Because owls don't need health insurance. Like
And I think they live a long time. I don't actually.
no, I think they live a long
I
time.
feel like
yeah,
owls
I feel like they live a long time.
time.
Yeah.
They have
You
a
know,
wisdom
I
to
actually
them
heard a
that only
pretty
comes
troubling
with
fact
time.
about owls recently.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I heard they're actually not smart.
Oh.
Whoa, okay, wet blanket much?
Okay. Okay, owls are himbos.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially owls are himbos. They really present smart. They're like a guy in glasses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They really present as like, I feel like owls are the professors of the woods.
Well,
yeah.
I think
100%.
the reputation weighs on them because, they didn't ask to be portrayed in this way in the media. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
That's true. That's
they
true.
they never said they were smart. That's
In
something
fact, they
we
were
put on them.
always, they were actually telling us they were always just like, who?
Right?
Yeah.
They were really like,
Oh my
what are you
God.
talking about?
Yeah.
And constantly asking
Yeah,
questions.
we
they're
didn't
really
listen.
like, who?
We don't
And then people were
listen.
like, "Ugh, that is so wise."
People were like, wait,
What
we
does
should
she
be asking
mean?
that more. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should be asking that more. Who?
Putting words
Yeah.
in their mouths.
Who, what, where, what? Those are the questions we need to be asking.
Yeah.
And owls are starting the conversation.
They start the conversations. They can't really finish them. Like
No,
Yeah.
it's yeah.
they
I've
can't
never
really
gotten an
stick the
answer.
landing.
No.
No.
No, but they can spin their heads like crazy.
Like
I
crazy.
personally I hate that. I don't like that one bit.
What do you hate about it?
I just don't like how fast it is. I mean, I think the thing that really gets me about owls, honestly, the head spin thing is like, okay, it's scary, but it's fine. The eyes, I don't know if you've ever seen like a diagram of like the a diorama. I don't know if you've ever seen my diorama I made of owls, where it's like the eyes are if they were the size of humans, how big the eyes would be. I don't know if anyone's. Have you guys
I've
seen?
never seen this,
I'm like
diagram.
70% there with what you're saying, but
Okay,
keep
so
going.
owls' eyes, like
Yeah.
proportional to their bodies. If the owl was the size of a human, the eyes would be like the size of softballs or something insane like that. It's like really, it's just like upsetting to me to think about that.
I don't enjoy hearing about it.
Yeah, it's like
No.
Because
Listen, if a human walked in here with softball shaped eyes, I would say
Right.
freak.
Yeah,
I would say freak, and I would get them out of here.
right.
I would
you
not
would maybe
be,
want them
I'll
out
say
of
it,
here.
I would not be tolerant.
No,
No,
I
I
would
don't
be
think
looking for weapons in the room. I would be looking for weapons. I'd be going to kill.
I would have immediate prejudice.
I would be
I
doing
would
discrimination
judge.
full on.
Yeah,
Yes.
because it would. It's
Do
scary.
chameleon eyes freak you out?
No, I'm fine with those.
Okay, cool.
No,
Do-
chameleons are gorgeous and
Yeah,
stunning,
they're
actually.
really beautiful.
Chameleons are.
Do you have an issue with chameleons?
No, I actually think they're the coolest animal. They're not my favorite animal, I don't think. But
Okay.
now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, are they? I think they're amazing. They can do so much with so
Yeah,
little.
and if they walked in to apply for a job, I actually would give it to them, and I would not be discriminatory. Whereas
Literally.
human with softball eyes, I would say, literally, we're not there yet politically, you know.
I think I've literally gotten upset before that Geico is a gecko. Like, I'm like, make it a chameleon. That's way cooler.
You
Yeah.
know, I have one issue with chameleons actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I
they've
know, I
changed
know.
colors too slowly.
Yeah.
100%.
You wish
yeah.
it was instant. Yeah.
I wish
you-
it was instant, and it's
You wish
just
it was
like
octopi puss.
exactly.
Oh, yeah, you
that's what I
do.
wish.
Yeah.
Because they go crazy fast.
Oh my god. Instant.
And that's
Instant.
what you want. You want to put on a show if you're going to put on a show.
Right.
I
Yeah.
do think octopi is kind of the goal.
Yeah.
Generally yes.
speaking.
Yeah.
Well,
Like-
they're the gold standard. Yeah.
Yeah, they're the gold standard. Just
nobody's doing it like them.
broadly
Opening a
speaking.
jar.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, when they go on land for a second, crazy.
That's nuts.
crazy.
That's nuts.
When they fit through a tiny little hole. Hello.
Oh my god. Versatile legends.
Oh my god.
Literally. This brings me to my next point.
Yeah.
As someone who believes octopi to perhaps be alien,
I think this is so often our segue into talking about the aliens is octopi specifically.
I make it a point to make every conversation end on octopi.
Yeah. Sort of.
On the podcast or off. If I'm at dinner, I go, and this brings me to my next point about octopi. I know so little about them for that to be
Yeah.
my move. But if you
They're
are
always on the
making
mind.
new records to show the aliens about Earth,
Yeah.
I guess I'll start with George. George, what would be the first thing you would show them?
What do they got to
Well,
see?
wait, hold on. Can I say one thing before we do this? Is
Sure.
that so? Sam and I picked different things, and actually, we don't know what the other picked. We have not
okay.
shown one another. But
That's
I do want
really
to say
romantic.
one little peek behind the curtain is that I almost sent this text to Sam, and I was like, wait, we cannot be this kind of codependent. Where I almost sent a text to Sam saying, FYI, Benito Skinner already picked Art Pop, so you can't pick Art Pop.
I picked. Well, okay, you go ahead.
I'll go first.
I picked something in that universe, of course.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be me, but go ahead.
Yeah, you have to be yourself for the aliens.
That's the
let me
number one
literally-
rule. Yeah.
I have to pull up my list. Okay, so should I just go in order?
Any order you want.
Whatever you
I'm ready to
feel.
hear whatever it is you want to tell
Yeah.
me.
Okay, I will do. Okay, I'll do my first one. My first one is the final scene in the 2014 film Wild, starring Reese Witherspoon.
Thank you.
Have you guys seen it?
Yes.
Well, I watched the clip.
Okay.
You've never seen the whole movie?
I haven't seen the movie. I don't know why. I feel like I really wanted to and never.
I think you would really
did.
like it, Shelby.
Okay,
Yeah.
Lindsay's reading the book right now,
Whoa.
which is a book that I purchased years ago and never
Awesome.
read.
Yeah, and
So-
I'll go right out and say it. I've never read the book either.
No.
I
have
hear
seen-
it's really nice.
Yeah. I hear it's great. I have seen a stage adaptation of her other book that was adapted and starring Nia Vardalos from My Big Fat Greek Wedding. And I would say it was a 2 to 3 stars out of 5.
Wait, what was it called?
Pretty Little Things, I think. Or something. Not Pretty
Tiny-
Little Things.
Tiny
Beautiful Things. Yeah.
I saw
Big Little Lies.
I saw this as well. I
Big
saw this
Little
as well.
Lies. Yeah.
Pretty Little Liars.
Yeah, I would give it about that same rating for the record.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw it
and
too.
I did. It was I had to leave at one point because I was
Do I not digest
laughing.
art?
No, you digested plenty of art.
Okay, everyone's seen everything.
But this is wait. Okay, so should I explain the clip?
Yeah, I mean, whatever. Maybe speak to what prompted you to put it on the record.
Why this is something that I would give the aliens.
And you can give like a quick, here's what it is.
Yeah.
If you want.
Yeah, I mean, the
paint a
thing with
picture.
Wild. So Wild is about Reese Witherspoon, and she has a really difficult childhood.
It's about her.
It's about Reese Witherspoon, the actor. She has a really difficult childhood. Her marriage falls apart. Her mom dies. She has a very difficult divorce. And she feels like she's constantly fucking up. She's a drug addict, blah, blah, blah. And so she decides that she's going to take a long hike. Period. And so that's kind of the plot of the film. And
Queen.
as she's taking this
Relatable
hike,
legend.
yeah. Well, it's just kind of like, I do think it's a uniquely human experience to be like, I'm gonna do a long walk. And just to like clear my head. It's kind of like the ultimate long walk to clear your head. She's actually gonna walk literally from Mexico to Alaska. I don't know. Actually, it's not to Alaska, but I don't know.
It's close. It's up there. It's up there.
She walks on water. She gets really religious.
There's certainly snow. And so the final scene, throughout the movie, she's walking, and then of course different things remind her of different things about her past. So then there's all these flashbacks, and basically the final sequence, which starts before the clip that I sent, but I couldn't send like a 10-minute clip. The final sequence starts when she's of course hiking. She runs into this little boy, okay, and she starts talking to the boy, whatever, and then the boy is like, I want to show you how I can like sing this song. And so the boy starts singing this song and has like the most angelic, beautiful voice. And so so the boy sings a song, then his mom or his grandma or something comes and then takes him away. And then after the boy leaves, the boy's song just like impacts her emotionally so much that she like breaks down crying. She just like falls to her knees and starts crying. And then there's like all these flashbacks to like all the different traumatic parts of her past and all the different parts of her life. And basically then when I watch the movie, which I do approximately once a year, starting at that point, I start crying until the end of the film. So it's about a 10-minute stretch where I'm kind of like, I would say hysterically crying.
Sure.
So starting with the boy singing, and then she starts crying. And then after that, you see her walking and finishing the Pacific Crest Trail, which is the hike that she's famously doing. And so as she's walking along the bridge,
which, as we know, ends in Alaska.
Right.
That's right. It ends in Alaska. Mrs. Claus is waiting for her at the other side.
Aww. Sure.
And so then what happens is, as she's walking across the bridge, the voiceover is like her talking about like what I think the monologue starts with, what if I forgive myself? And so it's like her being like, I've done all these things. I've had all these difficult times. I've made all these mistakes, whatever. But what if like now that I accomplished this big thing, I can actually start over? And then she also has this thing where she's like, what if, like one of the lines is like, what if heroin actually taught me something? Where she's like, rather than regretting, she's deciding that everything she has done up to this point has led her to who she is now. So that it was all in the service of becoming who she now is. So, yeah, basically, I just think that's kind of like the ultimate human story, and the aliens will finally understand where we're coming from.
No, I'm like, that's so beautiful.
It really is. I also like thinking that she hadn't had that thought until the last steps she was taking on the trail. She was walking for, I think, months.
Yeah, no, it was a really long walk.
It's a good thing that trail was long.
She was month 3, like, wait, what if everything happens for a reason? She was like, holy shit, I'm onto something. I have to start over.
But it's just, there's so much. It's like the fact that she was moved by like the innocence of this young boy, and then that made her think about herself in her youth, and then she's like finishing this big project, and she's feels so accomplished.
No, if I hiked the Pacific Crest Trail, which is something that I've thought about doing a lot of times and will never do, I would decide everything I've done is forgiven. I would be like, you know what?
You freaking earned it.
Yeah, I'd be like, yeah, I've done bad things. I'm better now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, just like after like sitting through that whole movie and seeing everything, just like her, when she says, what if I forgive myself? I mean, I actually can't talk about it too much because I will start crying.
That's okay.
It's
totally
impactful.
Fine. No, yeah, for sure. I love the idea of the aliens receiving this because you're right. It is such a human thing to be like, oh, this land, let me trek through it. Like it's
Exactly. Yeah.
It's just sort of like, oh yeah, that's what I gotta do, and I'm able to do it. And I mean, to be honest, I also have thought about hiking the Pacific Crest Trail a lot of times. It is expensive. It is.
Okay, yeah. No one talks about how it's expensive.
No one talks about how expensive. You have to like ship stuff to you. But anyway, I do love the idea of like the literal act of like walking and the aliens being like, oh, these guys just walk it off.
No other animal would be like, I need to walk out my trauma.
Yeah. I need to like walk through multiple kinds of landscapes and see them change. Well, I don't know. Maybe like wolves do that.
Yeah, but they would do that like because
they're doing
they need
that for
food.
a mission, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Their mission isn't just like, I want to feel a little bit better today.
Yeah,
They're not trying to process their divorce. I'll say this: not even an octopus has ever tried to process its divorce by walking.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
And certainly not an owl, my friend.
Yeah, right.
Oh my
An owl doesn't even know they have trauma to work through.
They wish. They wish they did. Oh my god. Idiots.
Owl.
Oh my god, owls are so annoying.
An owl. Let me tell you something. An owl could not even like process the intellectual heft of a divorce, let alone the emotional toll.
No.
They wouldn't even like address their failing relationship because they couldn't look inward enough.
No,
exactly.
they'd stay married
Divorce
forever.
rates among owls are really low, and it's just because they're not intelligent enough
not looking
to
around.
get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, divorce rates among owls are really low. Parentheses derogatory.
Right.
Okay, genius.
Troublingly low. There is like, because all people in general will be like, I just think I need to go take a walk. Like even in the middle of like a work day, you'll just be like, I need to go take a walk, and you're like going around your block, and there is like, oh, the gravity of things being bigger means bigger walk is a lesson for the aliens.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
It's kind of like, how long can your walk be?
Right.
That's the question that Wild answers, and it's like pretty long actually.
Really
It can go on
long.
for months.
You can actually go from end of land to end of land.
Yeah.
Once you hit the water, you do have to stop.
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
One time I was in a really bad mood last fall.
I can tell this is a similar narrative to Wild already.
This is kind of my wild.
I was in a bad mood once
I
last
just-
fall.
I remember it very vividly. The leaves were changing, and I was in a horrible mood. And I
Been
went
there.
for a 4-block walk. Took 100 pictures of myself walking.
Yeah, that's key. That's
And then
key.
I never felt better in my life. I felt fully healed, not an ounce of negative energy inside of me.
Absolutely.
I think having pictures really helped.
Yeah.
Sometimes the pictures really
If you
help.
flip through those really fast, you can see your mood change. The light returns to your eyes.
That's so true. The first one, you're like, oh, I don't look so good. And then by the end, it's like, wait, it's actually kind of a cute picture.
I'm actually having a nice time out in the fall.
Aw.
Yeah, Bushwick is beautiful if you take enough pictures.
Right. Yeah.
Have you taken enough pictures of anything?
It can be
Even
so.
What?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
Sam,
Sorry.
what is first on your record?
Okay, well, George absolutely dragged me by saying that I was going to bring something similar to Benito Skinner. And he is not wrong, although it's, a variation on the theme. We're not going to be gay guys. You know,
and
you can't
no
erase
one's asking
that.
you.
Thank you.
Listen, no one can bring the kind of masculine choice that I did with the final scene from Wild.
Right.
That's what I was thinking as well, but
That was like
it was
very
almost like
butch.
toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was almost
Exactly. And
toxically
so now we can
masculine.
go a little more queenie.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, what'd you bring, Sam?
Other end of the spectrum.
Okay, so my faggy choice is Lady Gaga and the Muppets Holiday Spectacular.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Which,
Thank you.
Yeah, is a very powerful piece of media. Really shows sort of a weird time in culture because it was art pop era, and it was a holiday special with the Muppets where she's performing all of these songs that the general public did not like. And just doing it with a full smile and like huge costumes and like trying to squeeze in like holiday joy in an already like complicated too much album. And then there's the Muppets for some reason, and they're loving it. They love every song on Art Pop, and in fact love to perform them as well.
Yeah.
And so I think it would maybe throw off the aliens if they did see it. They would sort of be like, wait, I thought I knew what they were about, but now I need to sort of learn more.
Yeah.
Well, also to add Muppets to the mix, it's like they're just now getting used to what humans are.
Yeah.
Like they
And
have to
now
get used to like
puppets.
the concept of a puppet. Like
Yeah.
what kind of creatures are these? Are there more of them?
Yeah.
And I'm still not even comfortable with puppets.
Yeah.
So
a lot of people
Yeah.
aren't. A lot of people
for
aren't.
aliens to have to get involved with puppets, I'd be like, listen, not all of us get it either.
Yeah.
Especially the Muppets. Yeah.
The Muppets. I mean, there's a Muppets cinematic universe. Like they exist in
The
their
MCU,
own.
yeah.
It's famous and it's successful. So I feel like, yeah, it's important for the aliens to know, but it is also like, okay, how do you intake that information? What are the
Yeah.
next steps? Yeah.
What are the next steps? And I think, we as humans, I think we're even maybe concerned at that point in time. And it was sort of like, what are we supposed to be getting out of this?
Sure.
And what's next? But here
Where
we
do you go
are,
from
and
there?
it's
Yeah.
sort of a wild type moment where we as a culture actually could look back on that trauma of sort of a Muppets holiday spectacular and say that actually made us who we are today.
So is she changing?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I saw it once, maybe when it
I just
first
had to say
appeared
that
in
to
our
ask
universe.
my question.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want everyone to be like, wait. So
Okay.
I haven't seen it. Does she sort of change lyrics to be holiday themed? What's the holiday aspect of it, or is she just like, my music can be for a holiday if it
She's
wants
just like,
to be?
my music can be for a holiday if it wants to. Like, it'll be like, I'm doing like GUI and then I'm doing like Deck the Halls. And
Okay.
it's like, like not, like one of the more famous videos of it is like performing fashion with RuPaul, and she's dressed kind of like a brown condom. And it's like,
With the Muppets.
for Christmas with the Muppets, it's insane, and it's truly like, what are you supposed to be taking away from this? And it's very unclear, but it's also it's one of my favorite things to watch because it is just like there's something very joyful about it, and just sort of being like, you know what? I'm just gonna have fun, and I'm not gonna critique myself in a way that, it's not enjoyable for some people, but honey, I love this stuff.
I love thinking of the aliens trying to be like, wait, okay, so of all the groups we've made people into, because they have to, who is this for? Is this for kids? Is this for adults? Is this for
Party?
gay people? They're like, who for? Really, at the end of the day.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got a
We're
visual
seeing
aid here.
Gaga in the brown.
In the-
We're
in the
seeing Gaga
brown.
in the brown.
The brown, the poopy condom look, if you will.
I really appreciate that Sam respects the aliens enough to give them such a challenge. Like, I really was like, what are the building blocks of like this? What is a human story? Like, while this is such a simple movie in terms of like the plot and everything, and I'm like, okay, this will teach them what basic human emotions are. Whereas Sam is like, here's something that confuses even humans.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, you need to show them that we're messy too.
You're
we have
you're absolutely right.
flaws,
And
and
actually,
it's not so clean.
Yeah, and it's making
Yeah,
me
I
realize
think-
that I was being like almost like condescending to the aliens with my choices.
Yeah.
were
I
treating
wasn't
the
gonna
aliens
say
like
anything,
owls.
but
Yeah, I'm treating them like owls. You're treating them like octopi.
right.
I think there's room for both, right? Like, I want to give them the building blocks, but I don't want them to come down and think that we're really like cookie cutter, because they're going to be really confused.
Right.
Yeah.
We want them to have tools in their toolbox to be prepared for what they might encounter, which could
Totally.
be wild and it could be Muppets. Like, it's,
Yeah, it's a real mixture.
yeah.
It depends where they land, really.
Right. Regionally.
Regionally, it depends on like what sort of web access they have. It depends on whose house they're in. You know,
Yeah.
it's especially around the holidays.
Oh my God. Especially around the holidays.
Especially around the holidays.
What? Could be anything.
We are going to take a quick break.
Quick.
And then we'll be right back. And we're back.
Huge.
Hey.
That's them throwing it back.
Yeah.
George, Sam, you guys can answer this in any order. What is something that you would delete from the records altogether? And it doesn't have to be like war or famine. It can be something really small that you're just like, they don't really need to get involved with this.
Yeah.
George, do you have one?
Yeah.
Please.
So my answer is the website BuzzFeed.com.
Okay. Speak to that. Speak to that.
Because I feel like basically around, 2012, 2013, probably like 2012, I would imagine BuzzFeed was founded.
Yeah.
And for the record, I know people have worked there. This is not a personal thing. This is about what it represents, which is kind of the dissolution of human potential. And so, to me, the success of BuzzFeed is like, okay, we are going to use like the dumbest possible parts of the internet, of human language, of memes, and then just like use that to generate profit and to make people dumber and dumber, and then also at some point decide to add even a layer of like moralizing on top of that, where it's like, well, then the headline becomes like, Kate Beckinsale claps back at body shaming trolls or something, and it's like it's a completely like fake controversy that they created. Like it's even more cynical than just like an eye-grabbing headline in an old newspaper or something. And so there's something about it where I'm like, maybe they don't have to learn about the history of media after BuzzFeed. They can just learn about magazines, newspapers,
Yeah.
books. Even honestly, I actually would. I think podcast newsletters, that's okay, but no digital native
No listicles
and quizzes and websites.
Yeah, that's really smart. That's really smart.
Did I have fun taking some BuzzFeed quizzes in my life?
Listen,
Of
we all
course.
did.
You had
course.
to. How else did you figure out like
Who
who
I
you
am.
were?
I mean, yeah, that's the one concern I have is that I don't know if I would know who I am without a BuzzFeed quiz.
I definitely wouldn't know I'm gay.
I've built my whole personality off of it. No, I
Yeah.
wouldn't know I was gay
wouldn't.
without TikTok.
Taking a BuzzFeed quiz is kind of the millennial and Gen Z version of hiking the Pacific Crest Trail.
Right. I'm like, I'm going to really bunker down and
Yeah.
talk about what color
Yeah.
jeans I would wear.
Yeah, you're like, you know what? I need to actually get serious and take a BuzzFeed quiz.
I need to take a long, hard look at myself and pick a pattern. Well, the craziest thing about BuzzFeed to me was that at the beginning it was like fun little listicles. Like, it was around, what was that website called where you could just click and it would serve you a random website? Did you guys ever do this? Stumble Upon. These to me happened in tandem. And it was like, I just want something to look at when I'm like in lecture or something.
Right.
Like I want to be like looking at something. And BuzzFeed and Stumble Upon did that for me. I'm going to go on Stumble Upon later. A perfect website.
So Stumble Upon, just to clarify for me and maybe those listening, it was just like it just would randomly give you any website.
And it was simpler times,
Yeah, totally.
And you would end up on a website just be like, this is nuts.
What? And
But it would be like
this was
images.
like,
it was like fun. Like you would
Yeah,
like
you could
find
pick
like
your
fun.
interests when you first go
Yeah.
on. So you would be like,
Yeah.
I want to see anything about art, animals, weird stuff, phenomena. And then you would just be like, stumble. And you'd be like, holy shit, it's a game. I can play a game on here.
oh, so it would be a
Or
game website.
No, sometimes.
Oh,
So
Or
it
you
could
would
be
go and
anything.
it'd just be like, here's a bunch of zebras. You'd be like, that's awesome.
I had a friend who lost himself in Stumble Upon. Like,
What?
I had a friend who was so into Stumble Upon that he became
Until
a
he
different
stumbled
person.
upon himself.
Until he stumbled upon the love of his life.
Whoa. Put him on Match.com.
Yeah, ended up on Match. Ended up on OkCupid and really fell in love. No, but BuzzFeed and Stumble Upon were like, to me, both mindless. It was like, I need something to like put my eyes on.
Sure.
And then BuzzFeed created a tab that was like BuzzFeed politics. And I was like, now what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Like when BuzzFeed started actually like being like, no, we also do serious journalism, I was like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, who are you kidding?
Well, which was also, I mean, that's a whole other story, but they did actually then have a newsroom of like talented journalists. And then it was so unfair to them because it would literally, their like deep investigations would just be placed along quizzes that were like, which, Muppet from the Lady Gaga Christmas special are you?
And also,
I bet that was literally
for
one of them.
because nobody wanted to admit like I was reading this on BuzzFeed. Not
Yeah.
because of the way that people were writing the serious articles, but because of what BuzzFeed already was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, you know what? I was reading this really compelling article on, the weird website that's like 45 reasons why kids are actually kind of scary. And you're like, yeah, that's where I found
I have
out.
to say, I literally went on, I was thinking about this yesterday and I went on BuzzFeed.com and literally the first thing was, I swear to God, it was like 44 tweets that will remind you of the 90s. Like,
No.
it is a new tweet roundup of tweets about the 90s.
Wow.
10 years later.
Just makes you feel
Powerful.
sick.
I won't even say, like, again, the crazy thing about BuzzFeed is I had some good times on that site.
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, we all remember where we were when the dress happened.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I legitimately remember where I was.
I actually remember where I was as well.
Have you guys ever seen the one? Have you guys ever seen the one that they did? It was like years later. The Vans.
No.
It's like,
No.
But have
it
you
a
seen, do you
similar
know about the
color?
watermelon video?
No.
No.
The watermelon video was, and
scared.
I'm sorry if this is like not exactly correct, but I'm 90% sure it is. They had a live stream of a watermelon and they kept putting rubber bands around it, and it was basically like how many rubber bands until it explodes. And so like millions of people were watching this live stream of just them putting rubber bands on a watermelon.
How many?
But it's like it's those things. It's like watermelon, the dress, 90s kids will remember. It's like the most base level.
Yeah.
Like it's like how low can you go?
Yeah.
Turns out the limit does not exist.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
very,
feel
very
like-
low.
I feel like when God, I hate my brain. When the Cincinnati Zoo started live streaming Fiona, the baby hippo, I feel like BuzzFeed had 6 new articles every day. Like they walked into the room and they were like, "Everyone, make sure you get your Fiona pitch in by end of day."
They saw that little hippo and dollar signs went into their eyes. And they
Literally.
said,
Yeah, they were like, she's a star.
And they were onto something.
They were like, "People love her. We gotta get on that." I was like,
because as long as people are still posting things on Facebook, like as long as like grandparents and aunts and uncles are posting things on Facebook, BuzzFeed will continue to thrive because that's the only place I see those things being shared.
"Yeah."
Is like
Used to be college students, and now it is 55-year-old white women.
Yeah.
In the Midwest.
being like, check Fiona out, growing every day.
You will not believe how big Fiona is now.
Yeah.
Sam,
I think I have
what's something
one.
you would delete?
I think I have one. And I've been racking my brain. I don't know if you could feel sort of my distant energy for the last 5 minutes.
I was wondering, where'd you go?
Yeah, we were worried. We missed ya.
I see you in there. I see you.
Okay, and I've come up with something controversial, maybe. I don't know. I'm trying to hype it
Okay.
up. No, I don't know.
Ruffle some feathers.
It's okay.
Okay, the Ghostbusters movies.
Wow.
Oh my God. Uh-oh.
Including
Turn the
the one
cameras
with
off.
the women?
Yeah, including the one with the women with Kate McKinnon.
Sure. We can delete that one too. I think
Just wanted to check.
It wouldn't make much sense without the like IP existing already.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true. Yeah, they really were like, we can get loosey-goosey with it.
I've been told to watch these damn movies for my entire life, and then finally I watched them, and I was like, it's a real like you had to be there moment. It almost is like
Yeah.
it just doesn't hold up in any way. And I actually think people were just caught up in sort of a moment. They were like, wow, we're going to be in the 80s forever. Let's really live it up. And that's just not the case.
Yeah.
They're flops. They're not funny. And Sigourney Weaver's a slay, and she can stay, but
Thank
that's
you
it.
for saying that.
Obviously,
Thank you for saying that. That was going to be tricky.
Yeah, that was scary for a second. But
I also, did you guys do any, like, was roller skating parties like a thing for you guys?
Oh, yeah.
In, like,
Oh, yeah.
middle school? Okay, Ghostbusters, the song, I feel like it's ingrained in my memory that I have to be like skating backwards in a circle, being like, Ghostbusters!
and the lights are like flashing.
Yeah. They're like, all right, time for the spooky skate. Everyone turn around. And you had to go backwards and be like, who are you gonna call? Ghostbusters!
Could you do it backwards? You could skate backwards?
That's like really hard.
That's really
Yeah,
hard.
good for you.
Yeah.
That's really impressive.
I mean, how often do you look at yourself in your mirror and say, you are beautiful and you can skate backwards?
Yeah.
I guess tonight will be the first. I'm
Not enough, clearly.
I'm blushing.
Shelby, you're bright red.
Oh my god. Yeah, I guess I can skate backwards. So, just a little thing about me.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
I don't know really. So Ghostbusters was mostly just like a Bill Murray vehicle, no?
Yeah. And honestly, bringing that up is even like, it's that Bill Murray culture is like one of the more toxic things
Yeah.
in our society.
Wow.
Trust me.
Sort of the like no one will ever believe you, like, because he will always like be crazy to people at parties and be like, ooh, Bill Murray did a crazy thing, or like having like Bill Murray have like his like image being like a just sort of like you can put Bill Murray's face on a t-shirt and you're like cool, you like are a certain type of cool, and it's like, okay, but what do you like about him? Like there's always
Right.
like, okay, what is this?
No one's ever specific.
Yeah, Bill Murray
yeah.
Murray culture is really eerie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, it's red flags. It's sort of you're not investigating yourself enough. Like you're not asking, why do I like this so much?
Yeah, it's like weirdly pretentious.
Well, because I lived in Chicago for a while, and
Right.
he's a big Cubs fan.
Oh.
And there would just be, it would be like, if you went to a Cubs game, they would just show Bill Murray like truly just being like, and the crowd would just be like, fuck yeah, like, yeah, that's my fucking guy.
Oh my
And you're like, what's
God.
going on?
Yeah.
I think he's just being normal.
Yeah, there's
I
a
doubt
cool...
that, but
In that moment,
You
I
think
don't
something
know.
else, something is going on in here?
yeah. I mean, I do think he's not normal.
right? But
Yeah.
he was being normal on the
Oh,
screen.
yeah, like people are. I see what you're saying. He was just watching the game, and people were projecting onto him,
Like,
oh,
this guy's
iconic,
fucking
slay.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah.
There's also the thing about
Thank
him.
you for saying that.
Him like being cast, like it's always that thing of like, he doesn't have you just call him and leave a voicemail and he responds if he wants to be in your movie, and it's always like, okay, like,
Wow,
is
I
that
did not
good?
know you felt so strongly about Bill Murray.
Yeah, wait, I feel like you know a lot about Bill Murray.
Well, I actually,
going.
okay. I
Tell
think
me
I
more.
have I'm sort of in my backlash era with him because
Okay.
I feel like he was really shoved down my throat, and it was sort of like I actually did think like I still even have positive associations with him in my mind, but I'm sort of like, well, why? Like what work of his do I enjoy? What like what? And it's like I'm sure he was he was a slay for the times.
Yeah.
But it's like it doesn't speak to me in the same way that it speaks to them. I don't know, and I
So
feel like
you're-
I'm just supposed to.
Yeah.
A
Uphold
slave
it.
for the times.
You're kind of holding
Yeah.
yourself accountable with the Bill Murray stuff.
Yeah, for the first time in my life. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What is and I have seen them. I know I hadn't seen some of the other stuff, but what is the premise of Ghostbusters? They're just going to take care of them?
I have seen it. I just explain it to you.
They're just
Premise of
literally
Ghostbusters
taking
is
care
they're
of
literally just ghost busting. They're like, that's what they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah, they're
It's-
like getting rid of the ghosts.
That's the whole premise?
Pretty much.
That's pretty much it.
I have to say, I'm like shocked that you think that's not enough of a premise for a comedy film.
I don't think it is. I'm like, okay, I'm bored.
You're like, okay, are the ghosts LGBTQ? Like, is
Like, do
there
the
an
ghosts
added
have?
thing?
Why are we busting them for what? Let them live. That's kind of how I
That's
feel.
true. It's kind of a carceral. It's definitely a carceral logic in the movie.
Like,
Definitely
okay, we're
carceral.
imprisoning ghosts for what? They're just trying to live.
Yeah.
Literally die. Yeah.
Yeah, they're like, hold on, we already died once, and now
Yeah.
they're getting sucked into vacuums.
Yeah.
Sucked them into vacuums.
Listen, ghost lives matter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, it's a simple.
I really like Sam's like. I totally agree that you had to be there with Ghostbusters, and I like ending the nostalgia cycle by being like, this ends with humans. The aliens will not have nostalgia for Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
They can't. They're not allowed.
It needs to be viewed at least with some sort of objective eye.
Well, the last thing we want is the aliens seeing Ghostbusters and thinking, oh, that's what the humans are trying to do to us.
Right.
That's true.
That's the other thing. Yeah.
And honestly, the problem is they actually probably should see it as a cautionary tale, because if we saw the aliens, we would actually try to ghostbust them probably.
Yeah. Again, depends where they land.
It depends on where they land. It depends on what energy they come at
I
us
really
with.
think, above all else, it does depend where they land.
That's
If
true.
they landed here right now.
If they landed in LA, it depends where they land. Because if they landed on
Right, are we talking east side or west side?
yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it really does depend. And if they like landed on like
This
a studio lot, movie immediately.
well,
$1 million.
obviously movie immediately, documentary immediately.
Documentary now.
Yeah. Oh. Is anyone listening? Yeah.
Anyway, I think it does depend where they land on if we're trying to bust them, but I think it is more likely than not that we don't treat them with kindness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Just
think it
given
would
history.
just based on the past.
Yeah,
Like,
and how we
I bet it would be
behave.
bad.
Usually
Yeah.
humans and stuff.
Yeah.
George,
Yeah.
what is next on your records?
Oh, are we going back to records? Okay, let's see.
I'm trying to keep us on schedule.
Okay,
Shelby's
so
really
next on my
running a tight
records-
ship tonight.
Okay. Okay. So next is something that probably people don't have a context for, but I will take an opportunity to, in fact, describe it from beginning to end.
Perfect.
It is the music video for a song called Why Go by the British electronic band Faithless, featuring Estelle, who American audiences might know from American Boy.
Yeah. Classic
Okay.
song.
So this video, I'm going to describe it, and then we can kind of talk about what it means. So it starts out, there's this woman and she's dancing at a club and the song starts playing. And so she's dancing. Everyone starts leaving the club. She's still dancing by herself. She can't stop dancing. She loves dancing. She then is kicked out of the club, but she's still dancing. She dances all the way home. She gets home. She's still dancing. Gets up in the morning, puts on her little skirt suit to go to work. Still dancing, folks.
Whoa.
She's on the subway, still dancing. At work, she's doing a presentation at work, literally still dancing as though the song is playing only for her. She's dancing. Slowly, it becomes clear that she's kind of being ostracized in society because people are like, she's a person of dance, and and
A classic,
no one
are we
else.
human or are we dancer? Moment.
Very much that, yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
she's dancing in the subway stop, she's dancing in the store, she's dancing on the street, and people are walking by her being like, my God, why are you
Yeah.
still dancing? We're on the street, actually, not in the club anymore. And so she's at a mall, she's dancing, everyone hates her, everyone is saying, flop, go away.
Yeah.
And so then she's going down an escalator, and up the escalator comes a man who keeps dancing.
Whoa.
Wow.
So there's a man who can't stop dancing, who people also find to be kind of, someone they don't want in society. So as she's going down the escalator and he's coming up, or maybe it's the other way around, I can't remember, they make eye contact while they're both dancing and they fall in love because they're the two people in the world who are dancing. And so then you see them going on a date and they're both dancing and they're the only people dancing at the restaurant. You see them going home and having sex while dancing.
No.
Then you see them...
That's where I draw the line.
How do you do that?
then they get married and they're dancing at their wedding. And then in the final scene, she's having... kids, and the kids come out dancing. And then in fact, that's the second to last scene. The final scene, they're all having like a family dinner, and there's like a big turkey and stuff, and the whole family is dancing. So basically, this is.
I was really hoping you were about to say in the final scene is that like he's dying and she's dancing.
No.
She's like, rest in peace, bitch.
I thought the turkey at the turkey dinner was going to be dancing
I
with
also
them.
thought the turkey was maybe
That would have been
dancing.
good, but you know what though? That would actually make a mockery of the whole situation.
Cheapen it.
Yeah.
No, you're right. You're
But
right.
to me,
So right.
again, like Wild, this is a very human story that is like, it's this very human narrative of like concepts like soulmates or like being an outcast or
Dancing to the beat of your own
literally dancing to the beat of your own drum.
Yes.
Simultaneously, it's a music video, so they would learn what a music video is. They would learn what 90s British electronic music is.
Huge.
They would learn about 90s fashion, which was actually a really cool time for fashion.
Definitely.
They would also learn, I'll say it, the struggles of being a woman in the workplace, because she's wearing her skirt suit, she's trying her best, but all people can see is a woman dancing, and they hate to see a woman thrive.
Wow.
You literally hate to see a woman like having a nice time.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But
people hate
mostly
it.
that's
In the
what
office?
it's like. To me,
I mean-
this like idea, it's almost like it encapsulates like what every rom-com is, what every love story is. It's like two people that are meant to be together, find each other, and it does it with no dialogue, purely like just the conceit that the two of them can't stop dancing.
A
And so,
story
yeah.
told through dance is
They
have nothing else in
so
common.
powerful.
I really do encourage everyone to go and watch this music video.
So do you also like the song?
I do actually like the song. Yeah,
Okay.
I think the song is great. I think it's a really good song. But it is certainly the music video that I would show to the aliens.
100%. I was just curious if this was like, in spite of
Yeah.
the song, I love the video, or it's the power of them both together.
No, I love, and you know what I like. Do you know what I always like is like an electronic song with a strong female vocalist at the helm.
Thank you. I do too.
Yeah. So to me, it's
you.
like that. You need this song in order to then have like the kind of David Guettas and the Calvin Harrises of the world.
Yeah.
Featuring, let's say,
Thank
Katy
you for
Perry,
bringing up
a
David
Florence and the
Guetta.
Machine.
Yeah. No, the aliens will need to understand that lineage. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want them to know, one, men and women should be together.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Romantically.
That's the other
Obviously.
thing.
Yeah.
Let's start there.
I want
Let's
them
start there.
to be asking. Yeah.
Let's start there. I wish that they had another woman come in dancing and she was like, yuck, yuck, yuck. And then
That would really hammer it home.
I feel like part of the message is like hetero love is
Right, exactly. And the initial woman can be like, yeah, I'm a dancer, but I'm not a lezo.
Yeah. Something like that. Maybe like she spits or something to really illustrate.
Yeah.
Gag
And they're
or. Yeah. Like,
they're dancing away from each other, being like, no.
Yeah.
But then when she sees Amanda, she's like, that's for me.
It's a hubba situation.
Yeah, big hubba hubba situation.
Yeah.
I do think, because I think sometimes I want to put a rom-com on there for them. I think that's an important cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
But that's really long. It's a lot to ask of them to sit through one.
Yeah.
And this gives you everything you need to know about them right away.
Yeah.
It's efficient. This is like similar to Wild. It really kills a lot of birds with one stone, in my opinion.
I like
Yeah.
the approach you took with your list. You were like, how do I get exactly what we are boiled down to just like a few
it's
pieces
like,
of media?
I have like 3 chances to do this.
Yeah.
We don't have time to like pussyfoot.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. Thank you for saying
No
that.
pussyfooting. Yeah. You got one shot.
I'm actually
opportunity.
embarrassed at how we took such different approaches. Like yours is
No,
very
Sarah,
like.
what's next on yours?
nothing
Let's
to
get
get
into it.
embarrassed
What's
about.
next?
Okay, so it's actually like I sort of was like almost like writing a personal letter to the aliens. Like I was sort of like, no, I want you to see me for who I am. Like
Both are valid.
Really okay. Yeah.
and thank you for saying that.
I see you, I hear you, I respect you.
Yeah.
Okay, because mine is pretty personal, and it's
Uh-oh.
the feeling when there's a guy who you think is straight, and then he turns out to be bi.
Whoa.
have you had this happen, George?
Of course.
This is one of my
I've had that
favorite
happen.
feelings in the world. I like when it happens, I'm elated to a point that like it's Christmas morning, it's a snow day. It's like this is insane. There's magic in the world. Everyone's capable of so much. And you know, it's also telling you don't limit yourself. Like believe, just follow your dreams. And
I actually disagree with your assertion that is somehow not universal, and it's like, and you did not choose an expansive enough view of humanity. Like, it's actually one of the most universal possible things.
Because what it actually is like, oh, someone is not what I thought they were, and in fact, they're better.
They're better, exactly.
Yeah, they're better than I thought they were.
And in fact, I'm pleased by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
It's a
glass
classic
can be
don't
half
judge a
full.
book by the cover.
100%.
Right.
One of the main human things.
Right.
One of the main human things.
I love main human things. It's like, yes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm addicted to that. Especially the way in which you find out can really make it more magical.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
a casual,
how are you wanting it to
ex-boyfriend.
be?
Yeah.
The best way for it to be found out for me is looking at like sort of a finding out via Instagram. Like sort of seeing
a classic. Yeah.
seeing that they follow a bunch of like hot like porn adjacent accounts. And it's
not what I thought.
because it's not like
seeing that he follows Troye Sivan, like
no, like follows like a thirst account, like very purposefully. That is like so.
That's
I'm
a
like,
dead giveaway. Yeah.
This is so beautiful, and what a way to make a splash. You know, it's.
I like thinking that you've imagined that a bunch of straight men are bi because they like follow fitness accounts.
They're like porn adjacent
accounts. That's goals, and you're like, you're fucking gay, dude.
Bro, come over.
They're literally following like NFL athletes that just happen to post pics from the locker room.
Yeah.
No, these guys
like,
are bi as hell.
Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving's a flat earther.
So you're assuming they're bi based on their Instagram activity. To be clear, they're not coming out as bi.
They're not coming out as bi, but you don't always need to come out. It's like
what
well
is coming
informed.
out?
What is coming out?
Come on.
This is breaking down a little bit.
No. You're not. You're not following. It's not because
he didn't finish. Later, you also see them fucking a guy.
Okay.
But he also has a girlfriend, so you know he's bi.
Yeah.
Bisexual.
It's a very specific type of account. It's not a fitness account. These are gay. They essentially are accounts that say, don't follow me unless you are attracted to men and want to have sex with men.
I've seen that.
That's what they say. They go live and say that.
Wow.
Yeah.
But that only happens live, so you wouldn't be able to see it if you went to the account now.
Right. There's no way for me to fact check that, really.
No, it's like when they go live, they definitely always say that. Like, you wouldn't...
Yeah.
And usually they're live. So.
Yeah, and like maybe I have screenshots, but like probably not, honestly.
Yeah, it's like I respect their privacy and like the beauty of what a live is and like how it's temporary. Like I'm not gonna sort of desecrate that.
Like it's fleeting.
That's like the appeal.
Yeah.
Listen, finding out someone you didn't think could be interested in you could potentially one day be is magic.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy feeling.
It's a crazy feeling.
Is it that you just like that they're bi in general, or like is there personal interest in it?
Is it an imagined future?
That's a great question.
Is there lust involved?
I think a lot of times there is lust involved. Unfortunately, it is an impure feeling.
Nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Don't be so hard on yourself.
It's more like, oh, I have a chance and I have never thought of this as having a chance before.
Right.
Okay, so even more human.
You're like the humaniest human.
So you're saying there's a shot.
Yeah, literally wild found dead, because now we finally can get to the root of human feeling.
Yeah, even just a shred, being like, oh, they follow these 4 random male accounts.
I love
How
that you
deep are you
keep
scrolling?
coming back
It's
to
so funny because I've really never had this experience. Like,
Oh my
how do you
God.
just
Yeah.
serendipitously come upon that they follow porny male accounts, people that you thought were straight?
I will
You
say
don't
this is
understand.
my
It's
girlfriend
insane.
culture. My girlfriend would do this. She would be like, "No, I found out this blah 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 because they followed X, Y," and like I would be like, "Oh my god."
Yeah, some people really take it upon themselves
You're
to do that.
a detective.
Yeah.
Like you don't accidentally follow people, you know?
Well, I have to disagree.
I mean,
I'm accidentally following a lot of people, and then I only find out if I go to like least interacted with, and I'm like, when
least
did this
interacted
happen?
with, best feature ever on Instagram.
I didn't know that was a
I've
feature.
never heard of that.
You gotta go.
If you click on your followers at the top, you'll be able to say like,
Most
who am I least interacted
least.
with?
Wow.
It's
Wow.
very eye-opening because you never see them in your feed.
Yeah.
And then you can just go, unfollow. I don't care. Obviously, I don't care, you know?
Yeah, it is my unfollow mechanism.
It's beautiful.
So if I've unfollowed you recently, it's because I don't interact, and Instagram told me that.
yeah, so
explicitly.
like, message, you gotta be messaging, you gotta be liking, you know what
And
I
at
mean?
the end of the
respond,
day,
like,
I'm
react.
hoping.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, me unfollowing helps your ratio because
Right.
otherwise, I'm not interacting, and you have a follower that's actively not interacting with your content. I'm doing you a favor.
So don't be upset if Shelby unfollows you, you guys.
It's like not that big of a deal
It's-
because it helps you at the end
You
of
should
the
be saying,
day.
thank you, Shelby. Shelby unfollowed me. No. I think it's not.
I didn't think you'd see that.
I'm so curious. I can't wait to see who I least interact with.
It's
I'm
literally
kinda
You're gonna
scared.
be like, whoa.
It makes me feel like a
because
scientist.
they aren't shown in your feed. So
Yeah.
it's like, I had no idea this person was even a person.
Yes. It's like someone from high school and you're like, whoa. Huh. Okay, bye-bye.
Huh.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, everyone's on blast now. I'm about
Yeah.
to unfollow.
Yeah, if you went to high school with me, watch the fuck out because you're about to get unfollowed.
Hey, you better start reacting.
Yeah, you better get in those DMs.
Our time is winding down, but I want to hit a few more. George,
Yes.
what is
Yeah.
next on your records?
I can just do one more because this is I would be happy to
This
end
is
on
your
this
most
one.
This is the
important
$1
one?
million.
So this is
When?
the experience of making pasta with a red sauce for dinner, and then the day after using the leftover sauce to make a shakshuka for lunch.
Wow. Wow. Holy
So-
shit.
Something I've made shakshuka.
Okay.
I've made pasta
I don't
with
believe
red
you.
sauce. I have never thought to use
It
pasta
is
sauce for it.
Well, see, this is
Where did
this
you
is
learn
like
this?
human resourcefulness, innovation, frankly, like just like the concept of possibility.
yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
and also like repurposing raw
Reduce,
materials,
reuse, recycle.
recycling, sustainability. You know, what you do is you obviously, you know, you have pasta. And this is, in fact, I saw that Joe Firestone's, one of her topics was Rayo's pasta sauce.
Yes.
And that is, in fact, my sauce of choice. So you use
you.
half a jar.
Another endorsement on the pod.
Yeah. So you use half a jar for your pasta, delicious, some freshly grated parm on top. And then the next day you saute some garlic and shallots or onions or something, maybe put some spices like maybe a cumin or paprika, then put the sauce in and then mix in the sauce, put in the eggs, okay? Then you
Okay.
serve yourself, put some parsley and feta on top. You have the most delicious lunch you could possibly imagine.
I have a question, and this is truly preference. Are you not putting like chili peppers in there, or
Well, that's why you get the arrabbiata sauce, which is spicy.
got it? I was gonna say because shakshuka traditionally spicy,
And you do
I'm
put
hearing
some,
a lot
like-
of sort of mild
Yeah,
spices.
totally.
I'm like, this is
And-
kind of nuts.
And I will say, so you do arrabbiata, and then you do crushed red pepper as well if you want it to be spicier.
Thank you.
And I just want to say, like, I have also made real shakshuka with like for where it's like you're actually making it from scratch. That's not what this is. This is like a workday lunch where you're like, what a treat that during the workday I'm having such a nice lunch instead of just a sandwich. I'm not saying this is
I want
like
to eat nice, but I don't want to cook for 4 hours.
it's middlebrow.
Ugh, middlebrow. We don't talk about them enough.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah,
one of the most forgotten brows.
I'm not under a delusion that this is like the best shakshuka ever. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it's like, but just to have that, to be resourceful in that way, to be sustainable in that way, and then of course eggs are such a huge part of. eggs tell such a story.
Oh my God, do they?
The chicken.
Right.
Yeah.
The chicken and so
Right.
there's
Yeah, which came first, sort of contemplations on time.
Yeah. You can also learn about the concept. You can also learn about the concept of brunch, because I feel like shakshuka is kind of a classic brunch dish that you can order.
correct.
Yeah,
Chickens themselves,
the concept of sautéing.
For me, I'm
Sauté.
loving this because I love shakshuka.
Yeah.
I love pasta. I'd love to have both back to back. And I have never considered using, I have always been like, if I want to have shakshuka, I either have to order it from a place or I need to slave away in the kitchen.
Yeah.
I need to put like cayenne and crushed red pepper
Yeah.
in a pan with oil and then like fresh tomatoes.
This is a little hack, I'm telling you. It works.
I also think like this is so important because lunch is like probably one of the most painful meals of the day. Every time
Exactly.
it's lunchtime, I'm like, this could be the end of my tenure on Earth.
Yeah.
And yet, like, there are these little things you can do to make it a little more manageable. Because I want to eat something that tastes good. There are no good lunch foods.
I mean,
Everyone wants to tell you to get a sandwich. And what I say to that is so few are good.
Yeah.
And
So
when they're-
few.
So few are actually what you want. You can have a sandwich, it'll do its job. But so few.
Yeah.
so few really
well.
leave you saying, wow, that was a
And
great
so
sandwich.
often lunch is either a sandwich or a salad and in fact, often when it's not, it's too heavy. So to have something that is both not a sandwich or salad and not super heavy
Right.
is,
Right.
I would say, revelatory.
I would
say
agree.
so.
Low
I would
effort.
agree. Yeah.
That is so
Okay.
important.
You're
That is
doing
so
Aliens
yourself.
are
important.
going to eat well. That I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That we can promise.
Wow.
And then Sam, your final item.
Okay. This one I thought was fun because I know George will have some things to say about it as well. I was going to say season 3, episode 7, HBO's Girls, when they go to the beach house. The title of the episode being Beach House.
Incredibly stressful episode.
Is
One of the
it-
more stressful episodes of TV of all time.
Yeah.
George, were you about to say, is it stressful?
No.
Oh,
was
I
not
was
about to
like,
say that.
I was like,
Shelby was gonna
I will
fight
sort
you
of
on
have
that.
a conversation about that live on air. if
No,
you want.
that actually, that is, yeah, I mean, it's a rich text, but I will let Sam introduce it.
Well, yeah, for those that don't know, the girls go to a beach house and Marnie's being really controlling and they run into some friends and Marnie just can't catch a damn break because the friends want to stay for dinner and they all get drunk and they learn to dance and it's fun, but then they get in a big fight and Shosh blows up at everyone in a famous speech and then they're all mad at each other. They go to bed and the next day they don't say anything. They just start cleaning the house. Cut to credits.
Can I ask everyone a question? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, so unfortunately, this is for you two. Whose side are you on?
Of the fight? Wow. I'm on I thought Marnie was being insane. I was on Lena Dunham's side. I was on Shoshana's side. I was not on Marnie's side.
I think Shoshana is ultimately what she says in that episode needed to be said. And if it hadn't been said, the show could not have gone on.
Thank you.
Okay, I must watch this episode
I
tonight.
am anti-Lena in the episode pro Shosh, but not anti-Marnie either. I think Marnie was being crazy, but I'm like, I would have been so annoyed if I was Marnie too.
I agree. I think
If I was Marnie, I would have been like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Stop. Like, literally stop.
Yeah, no, I think that what Shosh did is basically like go around and articulate everyone's flaws. That's like the famous
Queen.
speech.
Legend.
And I think that was necessary. I do think separately, like from Marnie's perspective, I mean, Marnie is also so full of shit because it's like she thinks she's the most put together of all of them, but in fact, she's like the biggest flop of all of them constantly and is making like the biggest mistakes. But for the sake of that weekend, at least, she was the one who invited them. She was the one who put everything together. So actually, yeah, it's okay to humor her when she's trying to have a dinner.
Thank you. I watched that being like, I feel like nobody's pro Marnie because Marnie is classically annoying all of the time. But I was like, if this was me and I organized all this and I wanted to have a dinner and like my friend was like, just could not give a shit less what I wanted, I would be losing my damn mind. That was an episode to me where I was like, oh, I think this is maybe a flaw. Like how Marnie is behaving is, I think maybe is like work I need to do on myself. Like I was like, wait, I would maybe do that. I would maybe be that mad.
Yeah, there have been times in my life when I have been that.
I'm actually more of the Hannah in that situation in like a way that's kind of toxic too, where I'm always like, why is everyone being crazy? Let's just have fun. Like, who cares? We can order 2 pizzas. Like, who cares?
Sometimes the let's just take it easy person is actually more toxic than the over planner.
Right. Right. Sorry, Sam, we're really dragging you through the mud right now. But sometimes the person who just wants to cook dinner with their friends is right. Every once in a while, like the person who's just like being a little type A about the trip has a point.
No.
But that episode genuinely made me be like, oh, it was something to me where I was like, I see my life in this. I need to find a middle ground. I can't be either person.
That episode really shook me to my core. I was sort of like, I didn't know you could show what this feeling is.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Like it was really like, whoa, I've had this, but but that was me. That was internal. That was private. Like now it's like, oh well, now it's on TV for everyone to see and consume, and I can pull up that feeling whenever I want and have an HBO subscription. It's insane to me.
It's gonna cost you. Kidding.
Kidding.
It's like,
oh, honey,
It's
we're
not
worth
funny.
Hey, kidding. You guys should get the subscription.
Yeah.
To be like, don't pay for that on this podcast. For what? It really, like, thank you for adding that episode on. For me, that episode is crazy because you're right. It's like a private moment that you feel like you never even vocalize either party in that. Like, you're just, like, both annoyed with each other and you both let it go because it's not a big enough thing to, like, talk about. And so you're like, well, it wouldn't be a moment in a show because it's ultimately a fleeting moment in friendship that we let go of.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, no, now it's there.
I feel like that's what that show was really good at generally, too. You know? I mean, I've only seen a couple episodes, to be honest. But I do feel like it is like one of those shows where you're like, oh, wow, they're really digging in deep with this stuff. Like, it almost is too much for me to watch in that way.
They put in a lot of nuance into, like, the whole show. Like, there's just the nuance of things that often gets dropped in, like, a Friends-based show.
Yeah.
They were like, what if we brought that to the forefront? And you were like, okay.
And it's not like this narrative. They're not doing like, oh, so and so cheated on someone. I mean, at least for the Beach House episode, they're not doing.
I was gonna say they do go there.
Yeah, they do. But it's not. But for that, it's literally like, oh, this is just like the natural tension of human friendship. It's not like someone says something behind someone else's back and someone hears it, or someone cheats on someone, or someone like, you know, punches someone. Like, it is literally like rising tension, like it tense, and then it blows up.
Yeah. And
also the
Team
like,
Shosh forever.
Oh, Team Shosh forever. The like the arc of like being really fun, like it's still being a fun night and everyone having a blast, and then like suddenly it's not. I was like, no.
Yeah.
This feeling, I hate that feeling.
Well, listen. We've come to the end of our time with you both, which breaks my little heart.
Ugh, mine's shattered. Been shattered.
This is the cleaning up the next morning without saying anything moment of the podcast.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect record.
I would have to agree.
Combined, because I really think it shows so much. I think it shows the light things. It shows like the bigger picture items. I think we're giving them a good idea of what we're like.
I think they would understand it flawlessly. Yeah. Yeah.
where can people find you?
George,
Sam?
you go first.
Oh my God. Well, you can find me. You can find me.
George, where can we find Sam?
So you can find Sam on Instagram and Twitter, and frankly all over the internet. And you can find both of us at our podcast Straightiolab, where each episode is about a different element of straight culture. We investigate a different element of heterosexuality each week
Powerful.
with a special guest, a special comedian guest.
If you guys aren't already
And,
listening to it, that's sick. So go.
Yeah, it's nasty and perverted. I guess also just to even it out, George is also on Instagram and Twitter.
Yeah,
You know, like
I'm actually on a lot of platforms. I'm on
if
Be
I
Real.
didn't say that, he's on
Yeah.
Be Real, and he actually does do his best to try to keep it honest. And I can't say the same for everybody.
Oh my God. Some people
Well,
do
it's just
not
nice to have a
keep
space
it
to be
real.
authentic.
No, it's just,
Yeah.
it's yeah. And if you can't be authentic on Be Real, like where can you be? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
keep saying.
Yeah.
I literally keep saying that.
I've heard Shelby say that. Yeah.
And if you're gonna post late, it has to be a nothing post. You cannot post late and have it be active. You cannot
That's a
post
really
late and be
good
at a
point.
concert. If you're gonna post at a concert, it has to be on time.
Yeah.
And if you're gonna post late, it has to be you laying in bed.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yep.
in your car.
Maybe.
That could be. That's boring enough. That works.
Yeah.
But then there's intrigue. Where's she going?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys both for coming on so much.
Thank you so
Thank
much for having
you.
us.
Thank you
This
so
was
much for
fun.
having us.
We love you guys.
Love you.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 That was a Headgum original.